Where you're tuning in from. Hello. Please let me know where you're tuning in from. I think I started 1 minute late. Forgive me. And I am hoping that this background noise is not uh, getting in the way of today's podcast. But hey, we're here. You're here. I appreciate you. All right. Welcome to today's podcast, number 69. The episode that almost didn't happen. So please let me know again where you're tuning in from and where you are catching, whether you're catching the replay or are listening to this as live. Okay. So during the podcast, let me know if there are any points that are hitting home, because it helps me to learn a bit about you and helps me to fine tune my podcast, my master classes, and my other offerings. All right. So I'm Coach Karen Smith Frazier, and I am passionate about helping women of a certain age, like me, move beyond fear, challenge harmful silence, and speak truth in ways that create change and make room for growth. Women, girls, boys, and men all face similar challenges, but there are certain patterns of behaviors that society places on women, especially when our power can no longer be contained. Making ourselves smaller to fit someone else's agenda doesn't feel good. And to this day, each day I get to decide and choose to show up fully Karen. And as my husband and children will attest to, that can sometimes be a lot. As I mentioned earlier in my introduction, this podcast episode almost didn't happen. My routines have been way off lately with impending deadlines, meetings, and things that I required to keep my word. I said I was going to do something and I want to keep my word. And so when my body said rest, my brain was saying, there's no time. And let's just say I didn't get a healthy number of Z's last night. But here I am. Thank goodness I was blessed with another morning to start afresh, or at least fresher. All right. So I'm just going to check to see if folks are tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Okay. All right. So in the midst of my temptation to cancel, or just, shall I say, postpone today's podcast, this topic came to mind. It is a twist on the game, Two Truths and a Lie, which is often used as an icebreaker in meetings or even in schools. And it's a way to get to know others in a group in a fun, lighthearted way, which can be especially helpful to those who may not be ones to jump into a conversation with strangers. Well, today I'm going to straight up tell you what the truth and the lie are. In fact, I'm going to switch it up and call it Two Lies and a Truth. And you won't even have to guess. Okay, ready? So when I was a school nurse, I was responsible for leading annual health training mandated by law, and also for the safety of our students and staff who had health plans. This was to give staff tools to know how to recognize an emergency and the steps to take. Thankfully for me, our school did not have a huge turnover in staff. And so the staff became pretty familiar with the safety protocols. I still couldn't skip the training though. Repetition was part of the system, so that in the face of an emergency, we wouldn't have to think too much about it and would know what to do or what help to seek. It was things like this that made me feel like I needed to stay at my job way longer than I had to. Who else is going to bring humor to the training? Who else is going to get the student health plans in the hands of instructors before classes start? Feeling like I was indispensable made it really hard to listen to that gut instinct that was telling me to grow. Grow, Karen, grow. A growth that I could not do if I stayed. So my first lie was when I told myself that leaving my position would cause havoc, that it would be super hard to replace me, and the needed work and instruction would go undone. Of course, there is another nurse at the school. That lie had me stalling for 2 to 3 years until I couldn't do it anymore. No, a car accident and a concussion kind of helped me get moving, but you get what I'm saying. So, what is that thing? What is that lie you're telling yourself that now is not the time? They need me. Just keep it in mind. Yes, there are certain things that you do that you will continue to do in any setting because of your uniqueness and grace. But don't think that you need to stay out of fear of letting others down, especially if you know a healthier and more fulfilling option, even if it is in the idea stages, is waiting for you. You were created to create, and these ideas and gut feelings are one clue that life can offer you more than you've been settling for. My second lie is that I need more time to make my fill in the blank perfect before I can take my first steps. This one hit home last night. Have you ever had a proposal due and the deadline is coming quickly? Whether I start weeks early or down to the wire, there is a great temptation to review it over and over and over and over and over and over again to make sure it's perfect. What is perfection anyway? Granted, I do put in the hard work and want to be rewarded, but it is a myth that I can bring anything to perfection. If anything, this perfection is a myth. The perfect time to change or adjust my job situation, the perfect time to start exercising, the perfect time to name my goal, something that I would love and go for it. All ducks, all situations will never be in order perfectly. So stop stalling. Finding the perfect time is a myth, even though we often throw it into conversations. Your gut is giving you clues for change and often begins with urges for small changes. You may not want to accept certain behavior from others, or maybe you recognize that you've been holding your tongue in certain conversations to keep the peace at your own detriment. Well, throw perfection out and just make a move. If waiting for perfection is causing delay, you already know what to do. And finally, I get to a truth. Truth is, I am tired, but I know the benefits of keeping a morning routine, even if it needs to be adjusted a bit. Don't throw out what really is working for you just because the timing is a bit off. For example, this morning, with little sleep, I still plan to have my quiet time, journaling, and then prep for the podcast. I think whenever I do a podcast first, before I do my quiet time and journaling, well, you can probably tell the difference. So today's podcast may be a bit shorter. Maybe it's a bit clunkier, but I'm trusting the process. And I hope that, you start trusting your processes too. This morning routine works for me. So find your routine and stick to it, even if the minutes may be fewer or you are not at your best in the moment. Truth is, systems and supports help us to be and become our best selves, especially when we stop lying to ourselves. When we make ourselves smaller to fit others' expectations, or when that perfect time to get started or to finish is causing delay. So today, I appreciate you tuning in. A bit shorter of a podcast, but I wanted to keep my promise to you that I would show up today. Now, next week, I may have a conflict, but I'm still trying to figure out what I can do about it. So don't count me out yet. But in the midst of everything, I appreciate your feedback and thank you for being here. Just going to take a peek, see if anybody's tuning in. I think everybody, here we go. Thanks for being here, my people. Yes. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Mitch, Washington, D.C., and New York, and the house. I appreciate you. So this week, I want to show you that I have been working hard. So this is an announcement and how I did a thing. I did a thing that was way outside of my comfort zone. You all are invited to an industry exposure showcase on Wednesday at 6 p.m. It's online. It's a showcase of entrepreneurs who are making waves, not willing to settle for the status quo. You can find the link and post on my Instagram page at Karen Smith Frazier. The post will instruct you to comment showcase, and someone will send you the link. So I hope to see you there. And I think that if you do come, you will be inspired to, I'll just leave it at that. All right. In the meantime, unleash your brilliance, uncover your light. The world is waiting for you. Walk your truth today. Take care.